Get this figure and every other figure of your dreams at Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description down below. We Predacons forbid you to watch this video if you are under the age of 13. That means you must click the box and exit the video. Yes. But if you continue to watch, it shall avail you not. No. For now the power gauntlet has been cast. Predacons, terrorize!
Hey everyone, welcome back to Input, and live from the set of Season 5, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Generations Earthrise Hoist. Let's dig into them. Alright guys, a little bit of trivia here for you guys, future trivia, however you want to look at it. Hoist, for Transformers Season 5, is actually the caterer. I didn't think a whole lot of you guys knew that, or would be interested, but I figured some of you guys might like to know that. So I ran into him backstage, and I asked him, said, hey man, you mind if I review you? And he said, no, I don't mind at all. So, here it is, the review for Hoist. And I gotta say, out of the gate, man, first impressions of this guy, he nails it. He's 100% G1 Hoist, and I think it looks really, really good on him. He hits everything, he hits all the right notes, from the hood being down on his belly. I mean, it's quintessential, it's G1 Hoist, and that is definitely what you see here. Now, if you're looking for an extremely hyper-accurate tune version, if you're looking for an extremely highly accurate toy version, you will not get either one here. I have to point that out. Now, if you're looking for Hyper Tune, it is extremely close, but he is missing the silver decos right here on the top of his foot. But again, a lot of people probably don't care about that, and if you're looking for a Hyper Toy accurate one, well then you're missing a whole bunch of sticker detail. But stickers and detail, that's what Toy Hacks does. So if you're looking for a super hyper toy version of this figure, Toy Hacks has got you covered on that one. Now, I know he's mistransformed here. He's supposed to have the cannon over his head, but the reason why I have it down is because, well, first of all, I like the look of it down first. It's more of like a hidden weapon thing for me. But I wanted to show you guys the option that you have here. So if you want to display him with the cannon up or down, if you want to hide it or whatever, you still have to go through these steps. So you're going to want to flatten these out long ways like this, open this up like so, and then just pull out the cannon and just sit it over his head, and then close everything back up in reverse order, and bam! Now you've got the hoist cannon right above his head. And I think that works. That works really well too. I don't know, I've just never been that big of a fan of the cannon sitting over his head. I keep calling it a cannon. I've always called it a cannon, but I've never been a big fan of that look. So, on this one, I usually keep it down. So, now everything you see here is paint. This is painted, this isn't stickers, this is all paint decal or deco and all this stuff. He does have the rock chipping. Now a lot of people say this is battle damage, but this is more of a rock chip, like driving on the freeway. He's supposed to be an 80s pickup truck, so an 80s Toyota pickup truck, so I mean there's probably going to be a whole lot of paint damage there if this truck hasn't been resprayed in ever. The figure does articulate really well, considering that his arms are on these what end up becoming the sides of the truck. I call them arm plates. He does articulate really well. Nothing gets in the way of these. Still does the full 360, and this even gets out of the way if you're going to try and rotate it all the way around, and it does go up and it does go down perfectly fine. The arm, like I said, this arm plate back here is not hindering anything articulation wise at all. His cannon does come out, so you can have a dual fist look for him, which I think is cool. I think options are always cool. And then, as you guys was showing earlier, this just plugs into his hand and it covers up. Now, I know some people don't like the fact that this is just a handheld weapon. He's supposed to have just the cannon arm and all that stuff, but I'm okay with it. I think it looks great. And again, I like having him have two hands. So you can have this if you want weapon storage. You got it right back here, which again is super, super cool. And I think the most important thing about all of these, flight stands. Right there, they work with flight stands. You guys can plug a flight stand into this guy, the SH Figure Arts flight stand, and have him do all kinds of crazy poses, especially since he's so well articulated. He's got double jointed knees, and that's mainly due to transformation, but again, that kind of articulation, I mean, look at that. You can post him up on the stand and make him pose and do all kinds of crazy stuff. I think it's super cool, man. Gotta say, his robot mode, truthfully, just knocks it completely out of the park. Now, I say that. Let's see if the vehicle mode can follow suit. So his truck mode, his alternate mode, does it nail it? Yup. Look, this is supposed to be a Toyota Hilux, 80s Toyota Hilux. They nailed it. I mean, it hits all of the right notes of that truck. That truck was, it's an 80s Toyota. It's the predecessor to the T100. It's a small truck. And they nailed the look of it. They got that squared front end. It looks like it should, man. I'm really, really impressed. And it's also very reminiscent of the original figure, as it should be. Why? Because it's an homage to Generation 1. Now, you do have a few things that you can do. You can put, I guess these are supposed to be like the light bars. You can put those up. You can put them out however you want to. But again, to work that, to make him live up to his name, Hoist, because he's a tow truck, you just bring it down. It's got the extra wheel on it, so it can roll and just roll behind him. And you can hook this up to any Earthrise figure, anything that's got one of those gate things that look like this, and he can tow it. He can tow Optimus Prime's trailer as well with the tailgate down. So, I mean, that's cool. And if you want to have his cannon thing up in vehicle mode, you can do that as well. So, again, I think it's really cool that this is all an option. It tabs and in and it stays together really, really well. I know a lot of people, they're complaining about the fist and stuff being down here and everything. And I'm not going to lie, they could have engineered somehow to kind of fold these up, kind of like the Generation 1 Datsuns. But that all being said, this doesn't bother me at all. I know a lot of people were knocking it because of that, but I really don't mind it, because here's the thing. The fists were the problem for a lot of people, but not all of this leg junk and crotch stuff down here. I mean, this was the issue, not this. Yeah. All of the underside chunks, all that stuff, that doesn't bother me at all. Remember, these are toys. They're meant to be played with. They're meant to be enjoyed. And, basically go out into the sandbox with and have adventures with. I don't see a whole lot of kids having issues with this. So, just all I'm saying is, if your little brother, 10-year-old brother, whatever, 5, 6, whatever, thinks this is cool, maybe you guys should give it a second chance, right? Or look at it differently. Now, you can store the weapon up here as well. So basically, wherever there's a 5mm port, you're golden. So, yeah. Now, I can't really dog on this at all, because I'm really, really impressed with it. The hood is made out of a clear plastic. That does worry me. That will be something over time to watch out for, because clear plastic is very brittle. But they made it out of clear plastic so they could do the clear light bulbs. Now, these were, back in the day, these were glass headlights and glass fog lights, so it does give it a bit of a good flashback type of look. Especially in that era, Toyota used square headlights a lot back then, and I mean they used it a lot all the way up into the super late 90s. So they use those square headlights quite a bit. So that's a really nice touch, especially considering the vehicle mode and everything. Yeah, I dig it. So we'll be right back with final thoughts. Alright guys, time for final thoughts on this guy. I will say this, I think he is awesome. I absolutely love what they were able to pull off here. Now, I know some people are screaming, you know, show us, you know, the previous Hoist. Why didn't you compare him to the previous Hoist? I am not going to compare him to the previous Hoist. This Hoist is going for the IDW look. There is two different things going on here. So, yeah, I think that to compare these two is not doing either figure justice at all. So, if you're wanting to a proper comparison, you would probably want to compare this with the G1 toy, which I do not have, but he does look, he's an outstanding update to that figure. So if that's what you're looking for, awesome. But again, if you're looking for that IDW representation, you're not going to find it here. I can honestly recommend this figure. I think they really knocked it out of the park. I really do. Just from a figure standpoint, from a truck mode standpoint, from a Toyota's fan standpoint. I love everything that they did with this thing, and truthfully, I cannot wait to get any other type of recolors or remolds from this guy. Yeah, definitely a solid recommend for me. I wouldn't say he's a hard recommend. That's just because of my preference with the character. I'm not the biggest Hoist fan. Not saying I'm not a fan of his or I don't like him or anything, but I think that, but I do think that they did something extremely well here, and he is totally worth a pickup. So, as always, I will see you guys next round. I love all you guys out there. Be safe, be kind, and as always, cut it out. Later, guys.